In today's video, we're going to talk about the most common problems for the 2015 through 2019 Subaru WRX. This video is going to be short, concise, and straight to the point, so stay tuned to find out what the most common problems are with the FA20 motor, the 2015 Plus WRX, and where the weak points are with this car. Before we get started, guys, if you want to see more cool automotive content or more Subaru WRX content, please consider subscribing to my channel. The 2015 Plus Subaru WRX comes with the FA20 motor and not the EJ series engine. These engines are regarded as really reliable, bulletproof. Some people will say bulletproof, but they're really resilient engines. They seem to run really well. They seem to handle low tunes really well, and they have a relatively low cost of ownership. There's one significant weak point for the 2015 through 2019 Subaru WRX, and that is the connecting rods. Now, this isn't evident on most stock cars. You've got to actually tune it. So this applies to people running stage 2 and greater tunes, or people that are really pushing their cars day in, day out, racing them, drag racing them, putting them on the drag strip, all those types of things. When you're really pushing the car, the connecting rod seems to be the weak point of this engine. Now, this is going to be a similar weak point like the EJ series, the ringland failure. This is like kind of the counterpart for the 2015 Plus WRX. Let me explain what's happening. So the FA20 is a boxer engine. One of the key parts of a boxer engine that makes it both great and awful is that it's kind of hard to build. And that complexity ends up being better for the user because you get a boxer engine, but it's really hard for Subaru to build, take apart, diagnose things, and all of the above. So they've designed the connecting rods in this motor to be relatively easy to assemble, to remove, to adjust, all those types of things. But with that ease of assembly, they had to give up the more straighter connecting rod. So they're going to have a little bit more curve like this. So the connecting rod is actually going to look like that. It's got a little bit of curve. On this connecting rod, the load applied is actually vertical, but the material is strong enough that it can have this curvature and still be intact and not bend. Now, Subaru's designed these connecting rods with a very high factor of safety. So under normal operation and even under a, conservative tune, they're going to be fine. That load is going to be held because the connecting rods are designed with like 5 factors of safety. Well, a factor of safety of 5 or 10 or who knows. So they're designed to take more load than what you typically would use. Now, when you start to really push these cars and really tune them, that load might get too much. And what we see, if you contact big tuning shops, mechanics that commonly work on WRXs, you'll find that if you have a WRX that's tuned too high, it's being pushed too hard, that load will actually end up compressing vertically and you will bend your connecting rod, right? So it will bend like that and not stay straight. And that's the weak point. I mean, that can be a serious issue. It can cause catastrophic engine failure. But again, it's not something that you're typically going to see or really see at all on the stock motors. It's only when you start to tune them or really start to push them and you increase that load on that connecting rod because of its curvature. And the load being applied on these rods, it isn't an even distribution because of that curve. It's not completely vertical axis, so it's really not even at any point. But the material and tensile strength is designed so the rods are actually operable at that curvature and where the load can be uneven for the connecting rods. The next problem on our list is actually 2 problems. They're both relative to gas. One's kind of large, one's kind of little. The FA20 motor is a direct injection motor. So that means that gasoline is being injected directly into the combustion chambers. So whatever you're putting in your gas tank is being put in the combustion chamber. If you were to fill it with water, it would be sprayed into the combustion chamber. Water would be. So with that direct injection, one of the big problems with these cars is carbon buildup in the combustion chamber. Basically, if there are any impurities in your gas, little things, it could be water, it could be metal particulates, little things. Usually gas has some impurities. Basically, that impurity is then pushed into the combustion chamber, the gas combusts, and whatever impurity was in the gas remains in the chamber. It'll cake up the chamber. Basically, it is a carbon residue. Carbon being the building block for everything in this world. That is why you call it carbon buildup. And after a while, carbon buildup can actually inhibit the piston from happening. It can change the combustion characteristics, all that. It can actually cause some serious problems. So I recommend that if you're running a direct injection motor that you run some type of fuel cleaner every once in a while. And there are some aftermarket services for cleaning that up. I really don't think you have to do that. Maybe if you've like 200,000 miles on your car, you can check it out and look for a cleaning. But the fuel cleaner should be enough if you run it through. It should really clean up some of that carbon buildup. So the next thing relative to gas is the NOx sensors on the 2015 through 2019 cars. It's really easy to set off a NOx sensor engine code. Now, this isn't necessarily a huge problem because if you own your own code reader and you've gone through it once, going through the future, that if you fill your tank up with good gas, you go to a Shell, you get V-Power, you get 93, 91, depending on what state you're in, that code's going to go away after you do the fill up and you drive it for 5-10 minutes. But this is a problem because there's a lot of people that take these codes and go get them diagnosed at dealers, and it ends up costing them a lot of money because the dealer's going to charge them for a diagnosis. So throughout the history of my channel and talking about the WRX on the channel, I always emphasize that good gas is very important, and good gas will save you money, whether it's through diagnosing issues, whether it's keeping your engine safe, whether it's reducing carbon buildup in your combustion chambers. All those things. Good gas means low maintenance costs. The last problem that I'm going to address today is the struts in the 2015 through 2017 Subaru WRX. So this is a more uncommon problem. It's happened to me. That's why I'm mentioning it. It's happened to other people, but it's not super common. Basically what's happening is the strut assemblies, I don't necessarily think they're failing. Something is not favorable about the strut assemblies for the 2015, 2016, and 2017. And I actually had mine replaced under warranty to the 2018 strut assembly. Nothing happened with the car. I just took it in and they asked me about the strut. I said, I haven't had any of those, problems that you're talking about. And they said, we'll just replace it just in case under warranty. Last night I did a little bit of investigation online. I called some Subaru techs. It seems like they're doing this every once in a while with cars, that there are some problems with drivability problems. There's a little bit of like wheel shake, you'll get a steering wheel shake, and they'll replace the strut assembly and it'll fix the problem. So I don't think they're necessarily failing. I don't think that they're faulty. I think that the 2018 and the 2019 just have a better designed strut assembly, and if you're still under warranty, it might be worth it to take your car into the dealership or call your dealership and see if they'll replace it with the newer strut assembly. And again, this was much less of a problem. This isn't a widespread problem, but it's happening enough that it's worth mentioning, and especially if you're outside of warranty and something were to go wrong, replacing a strut assembly could be kind of expensive. Well, thanks for watching, guys. Please comment below if you know of any other common problems with the 2015 through 2019 WRX. If you have any problems yourself that are super expensive, drop them in the comment section below. And if you don't have anything to comment, check out the comment section for other people that have talked about their cars, problems, common problems, things that they've had to spend money on. Let's build this as a community forum, guys. Well, thanks for watching the video. Stay tuned in the near future. I'll be putting one out about the STIs, what ringland failure is, and other problems that the STIs and EJ motors face. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day.